All right, Lacey, thanks very much. When voters go to the polls next month, photo ID will not be required. We'll get to that story in a moment, but we want to get to our Charles Benson now, who is covering Governor Scott Walker today. The governor with a busy schedule. He's got a visit down in Illinois. That's his first stop. It's not a campaign stop where he's looking for money. That happens later tonight. Our Charles Benson is live in the capital of Illinois, Springfield, following the governor today. Charles?
Good afternoon, Benny. And really a strange situation here, because right here in the state capital of Illinois, right here on the street, it looked a lot like the state capitol in Madison. That's because there were thousands and thousands of union workers marching up and down this street as Governor Walker spoke here at President Abraham Lincoln Hotel and Conference Center. Let me show you some video here. Governor Walker speaking to a crowd of about 300 folks who were here to hear him speak about the events in Wisconsin, how he has balanced the budget there. He was talking to members of the local Chamber of Commerce as well as small business members, but he talked about how Wisconsin was able to balance its budget, talked a lot about the controversy with the collective bargaining law requiring union workers to pay more for their pension and health benefits. That's why there were thousands of union workers out here. Let me show you some video that we were able to get from that as well. There was a large cutout of Governor Walker here with a sign that said, "Don't badger us." So folks here clearly not happy that Governor Walker's here, but his message to those that were in the room, he said, don't be afraid to take on the union bosses. He says he'd rather stand with the taxpayers of Wisconsin than the union bosses here in Illinois or around the country, and he says that's the battle he's facing. He believes this was a campaign stop. Now, he paid for it out of his own campaign, was not paid to be here, but he believes this is a campaign stop, and he has often made reference to how Illinois has dealt with its problems differently. Illinois facing an $8 billion deficit this time around, and also billions more in underfunded pension liabilities. So he's trying to compare how Illinois dealt with its issues and how Wisconsin has dealt with its issues, and he got both sides of the argument here, people out on the streets and people inside the building supporting what he was doing. Benny?
Charles, let me ask you a question about the governor spending more time out of state today. A necessity, he says, because there's so much out-of-state union money going to fund the campaigns of Tom Barrett and as well Kathleen Falk, probably more the latter. But does the governor expose himself to increased criticism the more fundraisers he does out of state, or because of that balance, does it not wash?
Yeah, and he was asked about that today, and he believes that he needs to travel outside of the state to raise money because he's dealing with what he describes as union folks outside of the state who are trying to influence what's going on inside of Wisconsin. Now, the union folks here that I talked to, and most were Illinois folks, there were some Wisconsin people down here, they believe that that's not the case. They believe he needs to deal with the business in Wisconsin, that this is about what's happening in Wisconsin. Ironically, the election is 8 weeks from today, so not a lot of time here, but both sides have a different point of view on what the governor should be doing and where he should be spending his time. Vinny?
Charles Benson, live in Springfield for us. Charles, thank you.